as I was growing up, my mother used to tell me stories about what happened to her in Siberia and in her life, and that was really the impetus for me to make the film, Once My Mother, from the stories that she had told me. But when I was growing up, I just found the stories, the repetition of the stories, just too much. I just wanted to put my hands over my ears and run out of the room eventually, because they just, as I say in the film, they just became a burden to me. But I think from her point of view, she needed to tell those stories. She needed her life to be acknowledged somehow. And I guess that's what I'm doing in Once My Mother now, that I want to acknowledge her life, and I want to sort of pay tribute to all of those other hundreds of thousands of Poles who had the same experience, because this story has not been told. It's been conveniently forgotten.
There's quite a similarity to Once My Mother with my personal film, which was called Uncle Gatskel, and in fact I think that's how partly I established my credibility with you, is I gave you a copy of that film to watch, to say, here's my story, and
I could see the resonances, and
So do you remember seeing that and feeling that there was some?
Oh yes, it's the same sensibility, because Rod's family comes from my part of the world, and you just, it's something you feel.
Something different, because my family background is Jewish and Sophia's isn't, but everybody who lived in that part of the world went through that incredible turmoil. Here they were in Eastern Europe. The Germans came in that way, the Russians came in that way, divided the country, and then the Germans took over the whole country, and then the Russians swept back. So how anybody survived that was quite extraordinary. So that resonated a lot for me in trying to tell your story. I kept thinking about what was going on in my family at that time of the century. So Once My Mother and Uncle Gatskel actually have quite a lot of crossover in their stories.